Welcome to this season of the Broadway Podcast, where here we give you a more real-time point of view of people who work, interact, and entertain here in Broadway, Nashville. We get the opportunity to provide hot gossip, but we also take the opportunity to provide a more positive outlook on people who call Nashville their home. Ride with us as we take you down a trip on Broadway.
This is the life we choose, life we choose. And honestly, I wouldn't want it any other way. I've been doing just fine, alright now. This is the life we choose. This is the life we choose.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you, David.
This
Thank you for
is
having
my
me.
first season podcast of the Broadway.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm glad you're here. I kind of want to get to know you more.
Yeah,
You're
hell
new
yeah.
to town and new to, the strip. So,
Yeah.
how'd you get here? What's your story?
What a loaded first question, and that's kind of broad. How did I get to Nashville?
Yeah, like what made you
Okay,
come
so from Chicago originally.
here? Yeah.
And I've been in Chicago the past couple years. I was in Florida prior to that, which we can dive into if you want to later. But I was engaged in Chicago, and that engagement got broken off. And so my sister had moved here from California, from Santa Monica, a couple years ago. And she was like, get out of Chicago. Come down, check Nashville out. See what you think. I think it'd be good just to get away from that situation. So I came down here and went to a couple bars, and I was like, "This is,
That's always how it happens. You go to a couple bars, you on vacation.
Exactly. I'm like, you know what? The vibe, the energy. I'm like, this is actually a pretty cool spot. And I was in the hospitality industry in Chicago. My family had a wedding and an event space, and we also had a restaurant. So I was like, this, and we had. It's also a deep subject, but we ended up selling last year. So everything kind of was working out to where, again, nothing was holding me in Chicago.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what, Jackie? Okay, cool. I'll come down. She's like, come down.
Jackie is what, the ex-fiance?
No, Jackie's my sister.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Rosalia is the ex-fiance.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Jackie was like, come down, stay in the guest house, see if you like it. And so that's what I did. I was like, there's, like I said, there's nothing keeping me in Chicago.
Right.
The only thing keeping me in Chicago was my broken heart. That was it. Because again, I wanted and leaving was difficult.
Yeah.
Because when I first came down here, man, I'll be honest, I thought I was gonna be here for a week. I was like, I'll be here for a week, 2 weeks. That's really, I'm really gonna show her that, hey, I don't need you.
Oh, so you came to Nashville with revenge.
It wasn't even revenge, but it was almost hey, look, I'm going to leave Chicago and joke's on you. I'm gone. Don't you want me back now? That was.
Oh, you was fishing.
Dude, like I said,
I was still in love with her.
100%. And truthfully, crazy part is I still probably even am right now. Mm-hmm. I've grown, since coming to Nashville, I've experienced quite a lot, and just the people that I've met here, the time that I've spent has been it's been challenging, but also therapeutic in the same time. Yeah. And I've gone through waves of I love it here. I want to go back. I miss her. I love it here. I want to go back. I miss her. And that's kind of the roller coaster that I've been on. But as I am kind of getting more comfortable here in Nashville and where I'm at working now, and the people and friends that I'm kind of developing, I'm realizing more and more that as much as I do miss Rosalia, and I did want to spend the rest of my life with her, and I was fully committed to all that. Yeah. Things happen for a reason, and this is it's a great spot to be I don't know, I guess to be a single man.
To dabble, yeah. For guys, for straight white guys, this is the place to move to. If whenever you're a fiance or a husband, whatever you call it, decide to split up, come to Nashville because this is the place you can just fuck off at for a little bit.
It's like the distractions have been good. Yeah. Not saying that I've like just gone and like done whatever I wanted, but like it's been.
It's here. If you want to, you can do it. If you don't want to, you don't have to.
And like then like not that it's like superficial, but like having people tell you that like, hey, you're pretty. It could, it's not a bad thing. It's a good like ego boost, I guess, sort of.
Especially coming off a breakup, like you want that reassurance that because you get into your head sometimes and you're like, damn, like what.
Sometimes I get into my head all the time with that shit. It's just, you know what I mean? It's just like, well, if I did this different, or like what. If she sees that I'm doing like really well, like she's gonna want me back, which that couldn't have been further from the truth. Which is kind of again sad, but at the same time, everything does happen for a reason, and it just like so I still talk to her a little bit.
Yeah, still?
Yeah.
So you moved here from a breakup.
Yep.
You're in Nashville. So what's your story now? What do you got going on now?
Well, now I'm here. Now I'm enjoying where I'm at right now, and for me, it's getting comfortable and getting over like that breakup is kind of what was like my main like focus.
Yeah,
I guess. So like I said, and now as I'm where I want to be, like work wise, at the place I want to be, because like where I'm at now, the first place I went to when I came down here was that bar. Yeah. And so I was like, dang, this is a cool spot. Like I could see myself working here. Now I didn't realize how hard it was to like work there. Yeah. Because not being from Nashville, not knowing it, I'm just like, I figure I could just apply and like.
That's the thing too. Like people come down here and like they visit, and I've even met like people at my bar. It's like, oh, how much you guys make, or do you guys do good? Y'all like working here? I'm like, yeah, it's awesome. And they're like, yeah, I'm thinking about moving to Nashville. I'm like, of course you think I'm moving to Nashville and becoming a bartender. You have no idea how hard it is to do it, but all right, come on, But,
I had no clue. Yeah. So again, like I figured, like okay, like. You'd apply, you'd hear back, like these places.
Right. Interview, walk in.
If you walk in, can I talk to a manager? Like,
right. Absolutely not.
Forget it. So so the fact that like now I'm actually like at that first bar that I went to that I wanted to be at, that's cool. And so I'm really like looking forward to like this season of like working, like the busy season, I guess you could say, is like right around the corner for Nashville. So I'm excited for that. And again, the people that I've met there, so far have all been pretty sweet, and they've all been very like warm, welcoming, and kind. You've got your mean people here and there.
That's everywhere though.
That's everywhere. You can't. Who cares? All you can do is kill them with kindness. And again, smile, like embrace them with open arms, and then have at it. Like,
absolutely.
Let's go.
Do you have any bartender experience from like the past, like in Chicago? Like,
yeah. So like I said, the place that my family owned in Chicago we did like weddings, events, but we also had a restaurant. It was a French continental restaurant. So it was fine, like super fine dining. So like a little bit like
sounds bougie.
It is bougie. It is. So it was rated one of the top 50 restaurants in the United States.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but it was a dying breed. And what I mean by that is like so waiters in like tuxedos, like white gloves, but it was amazing though. So my grandmother started the place, and I wanted to take it over. That's what I thought the transition and where everything was going. But the thing with family business is it's a bitch. Don't know if I can say bitch.
You can say bitch.
I can say bitch. Go. Awesome. Yeah. So, it sucks. Like family business is tough because you've got to be able to separate
business from family.
100%. And some people can do that. Yeah. Like I had the ability to do that. I could, when I showed up to work, it was like, okay, dad, like, okay, unc, like, hey, you're my dad, you're my uncle. But when we're in this building, like we're business partners.
Yeah, for sure.
And that dynamic is difficult to do for people. Like some people can do it, some can't. Like my dad and my uncle, like they weren't able to really to do that. I was still like his son and his nephew, and so that was challenging. And then when we had a developer like approach my dad, he had been approaching him for like several years at that point. Excuse me. And he, wanted to buy the property and the business. And my dad was like, no, not for sale. And so I just told my dad one day, I'm like, well, if the guy's going to keep coming to you, like think of whatever number it is that you need.
Right.
And just give that to him. And if he comes back at you with it, like, cool. If not, then, but at least like you've got your answer. Like,
Right,
and
exactly.
so that's what he did. And the guy was like, "You're crazy." No. But eventually, like over time, the guy got closer and closer, and then finally
He eventually caved and gave him the money.
he did.
Cool.
Yeah. But
Well,
but it was sad for me though, because I wanted it.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to take over. I wanted to kind of like we only had one, but I wanted to I wanted to build it into like 2, 3, 5, 8. Like,
did you have the money for that though?
I would have. Yeah.
But at the time, it was just like,
Yeah. Well, at the time, like when the developer came at that number, there's no way I could have been like, I couldn't have even gone to a bank and been like, hey, can you like spot me this amount? So I knew at that point it was kind of done.
Right.
Like, and my hands were tied, and so. It's still, my dad struggled, and he still is struggling a lot with it, like with the sell and like with the sale, but he's starting to get a little bit more comfortable with like the decision and like what because again, like his whole life was that industry.
Right.
So like when your whole identity is something and then it's taken away, like it is that's tough, and trying to figure out your place in the world
After all that.
Yeah. So he struggled a ton with that, and he still is, but he's doing better now.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Now, do you think, you said it was a dying breed, do you think that's because of just the genre of the restaurant itself, or like advertisement, or what
So the thing is like, so destination dining is kind of like dumb. People are gonna they're gonna drive 15 to 20 minutes like max for their dining experiences. So what made our restaurant in Chicago so unique and so amazing is that people would drive literally they would drive 2-3 hours to go to dinner.
Yeah.
It was, again, so like destination dining is, people don't do that.
You said it was rated top 10?
It was top 50 restaurants in the United States.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
So y'all were doing good.
It was good.
So
really,
something had to be
real
going
good.
on behind the scenes.
Real good.
That,
yeah.
I don't know, like if it's that big of a deal, like as far as like popularity, how did it not become successful?
Well, I mean, it was ridiculous, extremely successful. But the thing is that over time, they capitalized on 70s, 80s, 90s being like, again, people would, like I said, they would drive 2-3 hours to go and eat. Now, as things developed and as you have Ruth's Chris and Morton's popping up on every corner, well, okay, like you're going to go to those places.
Right.
Now, you're actually, truthfully, you're going to spend more money at those places just because they're in my opinion, they're overpriced and the quality you get is not that great. I mean, we would do like Steak Diane, Chateaubriand. We would do a lot of table side stuff, which was amazing. Places just don't do that anymore.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, like I said, is people just didn't want to drive like
so
as
the
far.
interest became
and like the market became so like diluted.
Yeah,
for
sure.
Like I said, you could throw a rock and hit a Ruth's Chris or a Morton's now on any corner. And
well, that's getting us back to Broadway, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Because they are saturating our place now with bars. The same bars too, which it kind of like irritates me a little bit because, and that's why I wanted to kind of talk about social media, because I think it correlates to like the success or not with the business.
Huge success, because we didn't do that as well. Like my dad and my uncle, like they were like more old school pen and paper type stuff. Like they would kind of, there just wasn't the marketing, the advertising, the change in in technology, change in times, like that was kind of like missed. And they were just banking on past, the reputation that they had built over the years, which was good enough.
And that's how it used to be. Like you could do that. You could rely on like your reputations to get you to the next level. Yeah. Now it's all about either buying out a big revenue or selling out to big revenue or advertisement to big revenues. So like it's kind of like spending a lot of money just to like even stay afloat. Yeah. To a certain extent. Like even with the bars we work in Nashville, it's like which ones are busy and which ones aren't busy.
You sure do.
And it's like it's because they're advertising or they're like the advertisement they already have on the buildings are already there, or they're just like social media like out the wazoo. Like for instance, I think Barstool does a phenomenal job with advertisement because they are a big brand. And every time you get on social media or Instagram in Nashville, Barstool pops up, or Garth Brooks pops up. So like I think that that's something that a lot of people need to take to consideration, because when you say like old school mom and pop stuff that used to be like popular are now getting washed away because they're not abiding by the times of social media. Yeah,
and again, if this is where we live now, like here on our phones, again, now if I'm not seeing shit pop up
Right.
left. I forget it. Yeah, because there's so much stimulus now. There's so much like at us. We're so busy.
Yeah.
I think we're just more mindless. I think
I totally agree. Yeah.
You know, I think that like there's so few times that we are actually like present or aware like during our day-to-day like activities, which is it's unfortunate and sad because we miss so much of it.
Imagine how much time we miss. Like we just like the amount of time I'm on my phone.
Yeah.
Just walking through town. Imagine if you can just rewind time and just see yourself how long you're like sitting down with your head down.
Yeah,
that's crazy, right?
Like,
to think about
what opportunities you miss, what people like you happen to like pass that you didn't share a smile, or you didn't share like hello. Like you'd have no idea like who's going to come into your life and impact it in what ways. Yeah. But if we're not aware, mindful, or present of like those potential situations, you're going to miss all of them no matter what. Because we're so obsessed and we're so focused on being like either like mentally we're in the future or we're in the past thinking what we could have done or what we should do instead of like living and just being, hey, you know what, this is like where I'm at right now and I'm enjoying like spending time with you and talking to you, and there's really nothing else in my mind other than this conversation right now. Right. I think like we need more of that.
That's why the podcast is so important.
It's huge
because we don't get a chance to even talk like at work to like each other like what's going on, because like everything's like moving so fast and like you're just like worried about either getting off work or you're getting your ass kicked. So like there's no in between, and then when it is in between, it's like you really can't have a genuine conversation. No. And by the time you get off work, it's like, all right, I'll see you tonight or I'll see you tomorrow.
And then when you're out, like we're out, like we're going out, like we're hanging out, like
I'm in my own world.
Forget having a conversation with you when you're out, no chance.
No chance. Especially when I get a little tipsy, I am going to be floating like a fairy around town. Like there's no conversation. But no, like getting back to the social media thing, like you're big on social media. Like a lot of people in Nashville are really big on social media. How important do you think that is to be successful in a town like this? Like you moved here from Chicago, branding yourself here, getting jobs to a certain extent is you have to market yourself on social media.
I think you do. Now, for me personally, I haven't done anything with social media in a long time. I kind of stopped after my whole experience with like reality TV and all that. I kind of took like a little bit of a break from social media, but I think it is super, super important, especially if you're coming into like a market where you do need to differentiate yourself, or you do need or now you look at applications and stuff now, they ask you for your social media your
headshots, or they're already pulling you up by your name and all that kind of stuff.
So again, if you've got, and the thing is like, and this is just my kind of opinion and my what I think, if you've got a following on social media, or if you've got content that can show more of like who you are or what you bring to the table, like does it show personality, does it show skill? Those things are very like important in whatever field that you're getting into. So the more that you can put out there about like yourself and in that positive way or in that authentic way, the better.
Authentic though, because you can also give people some bullshit. Because there's people out here that you'll think, oh my God, bombshell, talented, really doing the most, and then you get them in your buildings, you get them into your facilities, and they're just like what the fuck did I sign myself up for? So it's a balance. Who are you?
Because like who I see on
exactly
that's not totally who I person. See here.
And you got, it's a balance. Like you can't have companies or what, like going back to like social media, getting a job, whatever. Like you can't have companies who are so outdated and then try to go by social media standpoints and hire people, because they don't know what they're looking at. And then they just get whatever. They get the first pretty face, and then you get a saturation of that, and then you're just stuck with like pretty dumbasses,
This is great. This is not going to get us anywhere very far. But you're right. Like that's so, but. Yeah, like I guess it is sad.
That's where we're at though in Nashville. Like, I mean, to a certain extent, that's where we are. But that's why I wanted to ask, because like like I said, a lot of people have big social medias on Broadway, and then you go to these bars to go find them or go see them, because some of them have like really big followings. Like they're on TV, and they're like doing things on TV shows and stuff. And you come from like Chicago or California to come see so-and-so at so-and-so's bar, and you find out they're a complete utter bitch. And you're like, well, I came all the way out here to see you, and you're not even the person I see on social media.
And I think that's probably more of the norm than the opposite.
That's so sad, though.
It is. But again, what we portray and what we actually are, I think are for a lot of people are two totally different things. And that's the sad part. Yeah. And for me personally, I want to across all social media platforms or just be as authentic and sounds so cliche and so lame because especially with the show that I was on, it's true to myself. Jesus, we're
gonna get to that in a second.
Yeah, it's so overused. I don't want to say overused, but there's truth to it.
But what would you rather have? Would you rather have a person that's a complete sideshow from what they are on social media, or would you rather have somebody that's genuine? Because for me, this podcast, when it blows up, because it will,
yeah, for sure,
I want to be the most authentic and genuine self, because when you see me on my podcast and then you see me on the streets, I'm the same exact person. I don't want you to get two different people from me. You know what I'm saying? I see a lot of that on TikTok. Of I've met some of people I follow on TikTok and I've seen them in real life. I'm you're nothing like what I follow on social media, and it's very controversial because it's I want to like you.
It's almost disheartening.
Yeah, you can't. That's why I feel a lot of those people on social media who are huge aren't successful. Yeah. Because when they market themselves in the public eye, it tarnishes their reputation because they're not the same people that they portray online. So this reality show stuff, how was that? How did that go for you?
It went. It went. I didn't sign up for it.
Yeah, how'd you even get on it?
So my sister and my cousin put in my application
for the
Bachelorette.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I was actually down in Florida at the time, and I got a phone call, a California number, voicemail. Mm-hmm. It's hey Nick, this is so and so from ABC's The Bachelor, Bachelorette. And I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever.
Right, because initially you're this is not
real. Yep, didn't even return the phone call. A couple days later, same phone number calls me. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna let this go to voicemail again. But same voicemail. Hey Nick, this is so and so from ABC's The Bachelor, Bachelorette. Da da da. Give us a call back. So at that point, I'm like, you know what? All right, I'm gonna call this number back because if this person's pranking me, I just got to give them credit for going to this extent to actually do it. Right. They've called now multiple times, left the same message. It sounds professional as shit.
And then nowadays you think about scammers.
No, I'm like, you know what? All right, cool. Let's do this.
Yeah.
I see you. Hey, what up? This is Nick. So I ended up calling the number back, and then that started the whole casting process. Mm-hmm. But like I said, my sister and my cousin put in my application.
How cool is that though?
It was so for me, the casting process from start to finish, when I got that first phone call to when we started filming was 10 months. It's a long time. It's a long time. There's a lot of shit that goes on.
So for not even applying yourself, you decided to still go through the process. You must have been going through some stuff during that time where your family was we got to get him something going on.
I guess everyone, from my cousin and my sister were oh yeah, Nick needs to find a good girl,
and let's put him on TV to do it.
Yeah, I was there's an idea. It's perfect. This is gonna work out great. But throughout the whole casting process, they've got so many different forms you have to fill out and send this so I would get emails hey Nick, if you don't fill out these forms or send us these pictures, you'll no longer be considered for the show.
So you were invested then?
I would reply to them, that's great. I didn't sign up to be on your show. Send.
Really?
Yeah. Dude,
that's why it made them want you even more. You don't want to be on our show? Go get them.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't sign up for it.
Yeah.
I wasn't the one that was seeking it. So again, so when people ask how did you get on, or what can I do? I'll
let somebody come and get me. I'm going.
Be yourself. Be yourself. And you have to be. You've got to be comfortable on camera. You've got to be able to have to show emotions, and you have to be comfortable enough to with yourself to be able to express and do those things. That's first and foremost. If you're not comfortable on camera, you're not going to.
Well, after all the things you go through to even get on the show, I feel like they already vet you a little bit.
Oh, 100%.
So you're not even having to worry about.
There's so many cameras throughout all the interview processes that so they'll know if you're comfortable or not. But the other thing too is you have to just be so yourself, because they'll be able to see through anything also.
If you're there, even for clout or whatever.
Anything. They'll be able to. And so at the end of the day, it's they know what they're doing so well, it's insane. So if you can make them money or if you fit a narrative
Yeah.
that they have in mind, which again you're never going to know what that narrative is,
Mm-hmm.
like, because that's what they do. But if you fit it, or if then they'll put
How
you
was
on.
your experience on there though? Did
It
you
was-
have a good time?
I did. It was unique though,
Did
because
you
I
really
was
like the person that was on there? You don't have to answer that question.
I was trying. I was actually, because the thing is, because I didn't sign up for it. I didn't like. So I thought, you know what? There are crazier things that have happened in life.
Mm-hmm.
Why not find love like on TV? Why the heck? Why not?
Right.
Why not? Like I said, crazier shit has happened to me.
Yeah.
Like, so maybe if I go through this experience like as authentically and genuinely as I can,
Yeah.
who the hell knows? And so like I was actually trying to get to know her. I was asking like personal questions, like,
Yeah.
but like not
How
like
hard did you have to compete with like how many guys? Like 12 guys?
30 guys.
30 guys at
to
first?
start, to start with. And
Did
then,
you did you make it to a point?
yeah,
Like-
well, you get like that first night is the longest night ever.
yeah.
It's like that's the other thing too. Is
Did you
like
feel
dates.
like-
Dates are like 24-hour periods.
Yeah.
Like so, it's like 5 a.m. You wake up and like you start like with
You gotta get ready. You gotta look good. You gotta
yeah,
compete
yeah,
with
yeah.
all these hot people.
everybody.
Like,
Everybody's
hot on there.
Everyone's good looking. Everyone's
Yeah,
got,
so you're like, damn.
but like you're not like I don't know. Like for me at least, I wasn't like thinking like that because the relationships that are built on those shows.
Mhm.
I mean, again, this is from my experience. Like you spend so much time, like again, with the guys, with the producers, with
Oh,
your
yeah, yeah.
handlers,
Y'all become friends.
because you're with them 24/7 basically,
Yeah.
and you see whoever like the bachelor or bachelorette is. Like you go on like dates, sure, but even during those dates, like your time with them is limited.
Oh, so like you barely see this person. Like they're almost like a prized possession.
Kind of, yeah. It's
Sometimes
almost
not
like
really.
yeah. Most of the time, not really. You're just like, oh my god, wow! Like I've got like
I gotta love her.
I've got 10 minutes to talk to you. Like, let me just like unload my life story on you. But
Right.
but that's like what some people do. Like I actually tried to like get to know her,
Mm-hmm.
and some depending upon who the bachelor or bachelorette is, some are there for the right reasons. Sounds so lame. Some
Yeah.
are there for the not so right reasons.
Well, that's why producers do that on purpose. Like they
Yeah.
want both worlds there.
yeah, and like so like the for me like my bachelorette. Like she had an agenda, like, and she was,
did?
yeah.
Don't they all though? I feel like.
You know, some are more
For the most of them.
some are more genuine than others.
Yeah.
Some are actually like again like good and like cool enough people
Mm-hmm.
to want to get to know whoever else is like there.
But this one had an agenda.
Agenda.
We don't have to go into it, but
Wait. I mean, like, well, the thing was too is like you kind of like tell from like day one.
yeah.
Like, okay, like she's gonna pick you. Like we know,
Oh, gotcha,
we kind
gotcha.
of know that like already. You just had like it's an energy, it's a feel, like, and you just kind of.
Just play the game
They're-
for as long as you can.
Yeah, but for me, it wasn't a game. Like, cause I went there, I didn't sign up for it.
Yeah.
I wasn't like dying to be there. I wasn't looking at it in a way like, oh, this is gonna be great for like
My
my social media. Or I was there like, shit, maybe I'll find somebody that I will fall in love
Yeah.
with. Like, why not?
So you're open to like the whole experience. Yeah.
100%. Yeah. So I mean, it is cool. It's tough. It's different. You know, I mean, like, you take your phones.
Yeah.
Like, no TV, no internet, no music, nothing like that. So like, you've got the things that you do to occupy your time
Yeah.
are different.
I don't even want to go. I don't know what you guys did to occupy time. I don't want to know. If I was on The
shit,
Bachelor,
you
I would
did.
be occupying my time a lot.
A
lot.
Yeah.
Speaking of
Yeah. I'm sure.
Was there
I'm
like
sure.
any like a no sex clause?
I mean, like, no, not really.
So y'all could just go. I mean, if you're on The Bachelor or Bachelorette, you don't want to be classless, I guess, on TV.
Yeah, and
I would, so don't put me on The
you
Bachelor.
got-
I want to be classless.
Like,
as
you
hell.
can you can do kind of like you could do whatever you want.
Well, there's no
Like,
privacy though.
So you could find it if like you know not like entirely, but you know, like if you are on like overnights or one-on-ones and like
The camera goes off at a certain. Did they tell you the camera goes off?
No.
See, I wouldn't trust
No.
that. I wouldn't trust myself on that.
No, cameras are. I mean, they're everywhere.
I
You know,
drink too much to be on a show like
even,
that.
even if it's not the camera man, like you've got like cameras.
Oh,
like,
that's true. Yeah, so
they're-
it's always Big Brother around somewhere.
always. Yeah.
So what's the next chapter now for that? Are you going to be on any other
Well,
reality shows?
I'm single now. So now the next move, it kind of like things that opened up is like there's other avenues, there's other shows that even within the same series and the same franchise, like Bachelor in Paradise. Like, so we'll maybe throw the hat in there and give that a shot again. That now, like, the only difference now would be like, I don't want to say that I'd be going there not to find love.
But I mean, now it's like an agenda thing. It has to be.
Kind of. Yeah. Now it'd be more, it's more for like the experience.
Yeah.
But also like, hey, what can we, how do I want to like leverage this? How do I want to approach this?
Because now you're more smart about it. Now it's a business now.
It could
now
be,
it's a business.
Yeah, exactly.
It should be.
And
don't forget who I am when you get on the show, because I'm trying to get my own reality TV show. So
I think you're well on your way to doing that. So you just keep doing this. I think that's gonna filter and feed out to itself. But
I'd love to have you on the show again, because I think we have a lot more things to talk about.
There's a ton.
It's a ton. I think
there's a ton to talk about. Yeah, and again, it's been awesome, like being here. So thank you again. And again, anytime you want me here, bring me back.
I think I found myself a recurring guest.
Oh, shoot. How about that?
Yeah, we'll see.
I won't get my hopes up.
Don't.
I'm not going to.
But you're on the roster. I mean, you're the first one on the roster for sure. For sure.
I like that. That's cool. No, yeah. I mean, like I said, there's a lot more depth to I think everybody has depth like in their story and in their life and in their experiences. And I think in order to figure those out, and it requires genuine, like, not concern, but like interest. So like, again, if you want to know more about like my story, about my background, again, this is like a kind of like a Cliff's Notes like version of it, and vice versa. Like, if I want to know, which I do want to know more about like how like you even started this whole like podcast, which I think is an amazing thing.
Well, we'll get there. I'm down. But unfortunately, we don't have any more time today. But like I said,
that's so sad. Maybe we should increase like the length of episodes moving forward. How about that?
So now, I have a manager. Okay, talk to my manager. No, thank you so much, man, for real. I really appreciate it.
No, it was a pleasure, dude.
Season 2 will be coming out very soon, too. I hope to have you on that one as well. I think we have some good things going on in town, too, with the volleyball tournaments and stuff going on. So I think we're going to try to do some things with that, but just stay tuned. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
You got it, man.
Thank you. Tune in next time, guys. Thank you.
2 thumbs up. 3 thumbs up. 4.
This is the life we choose. Life we choose. And honestly, I wouldn't want it any other way. I've been doing just fine.